Hello there. Welcome. Welcome to Rise and Receive. This is a reset point in your day where you get to just stop what you're doing and explore possibilities for receiving your fulfillment by unlearning struggle. Hi, Julie. Welcome. Thanks for being here. So today we're going to do part 2 on a 3-part series around receiving peace. Hi, Colette. Good to see you. Receiving peace and how to open the flow gates. So I invite you, if you are feeling less than peaceful, if you would like to open the flow gates to more peace in your life, to just kind of sit back and let this rise and receive message sort of wash over you. And I really invite you to really give yourself the gift of stopping. Just stop whatever you're doing. See if you can stop. If you're multitasking, if you have the option, just stop. Because this is a very essential part of receiving. We stop the doing. We breathe so we can shift into being. And that begins the process of opening the flow gates to peace. All right. So what I've been doing with this new series in 2021 is focusing on how to help people get unstuck around the things that they really want most. And we're focusing on inner world things like peace and freedom and joy and love, as well as outer world things like money and wealth and health and beauty and body issues, physical manifestations, travel, when we can travel more, or just really manifesting things, actual things that we want in our lives. And so the way we're doing this is I'm illuminating blind spots. And so I define a blind spot as when your current point of view hides an essential insight. Now, why is point of view so important? Well, from my point of view, from everything that I teach, your consciousness creates your reality. And your consciousness is the sum total of your perspective. Okay, and that perspective on your life, on your goals, on your dreams, on your wants, wishes, and aspirations is the sum total of everything happening in your inner world. So it's conscious and unconscious, things that you're aware of and things that you're unaware of, feelings, expectations, beliefs, experiences, memories, sensations in your body. And so when you are looking at peace or anything else that you want from a certain perspective, if you have a blind spot, it means there's something that you're not seeing. Just like when you drive a car, a blind spot will hide a car that's coming up behind you until you can see it, until it comes around. And so a shift in perspective is a shift in consciousness, which is a shift in your point of creation. And I always like to say that, your consciousness creates your reality. Caveat, creating your reality does not mean controlling your reality. So there's a whole possibility of power that can open up for you when you really understand the terrain of your consciousness. And looking at blind spots is a great way to do this. So the other thing that I'm really passionate about is understanding that if you're hitting an inner glass ceiling on the things that you want most, it's very possible that this inner glass ceiling is because you're over relying on what I call the doing model of power and are really malnourished or maybe absent in your connection to the being model of power. So we're going to talk about receiving blind spots. And a receiving blind spot occurs when you're operating more as a human doing than a human being. Because we know how to do. If we have goals, if you're goal-oriented, we know how to do. We know how to think and take a lot of action. But a lot of us don't even have any clue about the power of being. As a matter of fact, if I say, hey, being is really powerful, most people think, how could being ever be useful or produce results? Well, I'm here to say that that's often the missing puzzle piece if you're hitting your inner glass ceiling. So we're going to illuminate a blind spot around receiving peace and opening the flow gates. So if you don't know me, my name is Sonia Miller. I'm a speaker, coach, and best-selling author, and I help goal-oriented people to dissolve and joyfully surpass their inner glass ceiling. So, what is today's blind spot? Last week, we talked about the wanting blind spot, and today I'm going to talk about the fix-it blind spot. So if you're operating as a human doing and you have a problem, what you tend to do is, and this happens so automatically, is I have a problem, I need to fix it. That's what the hunter warrior does. They have a problem, they need to hunt an animal, and they need to go get their target, right? They need to, and this is very much in the problem solver sort of orientation. Everything is seen through the lens of a problem. So I'm not feeling peaceful, I'm anxious, I need to fix it. So what happens with our awareness? What is our point of view? We think that if we fix the source of what we think is causing this lack of peace, then I'll feel peaceful. And there's a whole bunch of reasons that this not only doesn't work, but if you're feeling lack of peace and you want to feel peace and you get lost in fix-it mode, it can actually make it worse. Okay? Because when you're in fix-it mode, you're up in your head. Analyze, 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 analyze. But when there's an absence of peace, it's all feeling, 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 feeling. So you're trying to address a feeling problem with mental tools, which is fixing. It's the wrong tool for the job. Peace is something you feel, you sense, you experience in your body. Furthermore, to connect the dots with receiving your joyful fulfillment, okay, fulfillment is a feeling. You don't think fulfilled, you feel fulfilled. Okay? You don't think anxious, you feel anxious. You might be ruminating and having obsessive thoughts. That's a symptom of the feeling in your body. So that's the blind spot. If you are wanting to fix something, and that's actually the clue to tell you that maybe that's the blind spot. If you are fixated on trying to fix this outer world thing in order to feel better, you might be hindered by or stuck by the fix-it blind spot. Now, how do we open the floodgates to greater peace? Well, one of the things I love to say is you want to start training. All of receiving is about training your awareness. And if the fix-it blind spot is kicking in, which means you're in fix-it mode, fix it, gotta fix this, fix, then I'll feel peaceful, okay? You want to start giving your brain a new job description. So you feel not peaceful, you start to fix the problem so that you can feel peaceful. As soon as you feel yourself go up in your head, you want to notice. And so your brain now has two possible choices. It can go down the path of problem solve and fix, or it can go down this path, which is to remind you to go into your body. So up, fix, stop. Oh, I'm fixing. Time to feel, time to feel, time to feel. Now, if you're not used to feeling, if you don't understand how feeling could ever be a good thing in your life because it's just messy and out of control and uncomfortable, I'm going to give you a smaller baby step, okay? I want you to practice shifting from fixing to nurturing yourself, because that lack of peace is a feeling that needs nurturing. When you feel something, it requires nurturing. Now, this is so powerful on the level of creating your consciousness. I'm going to try to stay on track with this, but let me tell you why this nurtures the consciousness that allows you to create your reality, okay? When you are nurturing yourself instead of fixing yourself, okay, your consciousness is, I am going to give myself love, give myself attention, receive love and receive attention for no reason at all. Most of us, when we're in the doing model of power, operate from transactional value, which is I can only receive when I do something. So everything that you're trying to receive is after you've done something in exchange. But when you nurture, simply because you have a feeling, just like the baby who cries and receives, who giggles and receives, who's just sitting there like a cute little lump and receives, that baby receives for no reason at all. And that receiving is experienced in the body as nurturing. It's a feeling of love. That is the consciousness of reasonless or unconditional receiving. That is how we start to dissolve and surpass our inner glass ceiling. Because the inner glass ceiling is just a symptom of I'm over relying on doing, but doing can only take you so far. So how do you nurture yourself? First thing is to know that when you jump up from your body of feeling lack of peace into your head of fixing, what's actually happening is you're abandoning yourself. There's that small little kid inside of you, the child, who needs nurturing when you feel agitated and anxious and lack of peace. And that part of you needs that love, care, and nurturing and attention. It needs you to show up for you. But when you say, nope, I'm not going to show up for you, I'm going to focus on the outer world instead, you're literally turning your back and I'm going to fix this. Then I'll deal with you. That's actually abandonment. That's a self-abandonment. So instead of abandoning yourself, I always define nurturing as showing up for yourself. So you can start to think of the feeling of lack of peace or the feeling of I'm lost in fixing come back as it's almost like a little kid like tugging at your shirt. I'm not okay, I'm anxious, I'm agitated. Then you can show up for yourself. And all you need to do is simply, you can literally talk to that part of you and say, you know what? I don't know the answer, but we'll figure it out together. Let's just sit and be. And then you come into your body and you breathe and you breathe and you breathe and you literally feel. You just feel. Now, again, I know that for some people, feeling might be like really uncomfortable. So do the best you can. Be gentle. But if you just start breathing, and yeah, it can be uncomfortable, but breathe into your body, it will move on through. A lot of that energy that's just, agitating you, it might swell like a wave, but if you breathe, it can pass. It can pass. Okay, so it takes practice. And if this feels a little bit like, this is kind of beyond what I'm comfortable with, you can stay up in your head, all right? But instead of fixing, you can invite. So fixing is intention-based, but invitation just brings to you what life is always offering. You're opening up the space for life to provide for you instead of you going out into life and trying to hunt down something in order to fix a problem that isn't a problem. It's just a call for nurturing. So this is one of the ways that you can activate willingness, which is something for your mind to do, but it's much more nurturing. All right. Here's the willingness mantra that comes at the end of the Receive Peace card. Okay, let me just read you a little bit from the bottom. Peace is revealed when you allow the seeking or the fixing to rest. Your natural peace is revealed when you call off the search, and one moment at a time you let everything be as it is. Then your seeking mind, which is the true cause of conflict, can rest. Your peace is revealed, and in this spaciousness you become open and receptive to receiving something new. So, fix it, stop, notice, breathe. And here's your willingness mantra. I am willing to let this moment be as it is. I am willing to let this moment be as it is. Just one final thought, and I started with this today when I talked about stopping. In my Receive course, I teach 10 powers of being. And in order to shift from being a human doing or overdoing, right? A human doing to a human being, so you can dissolve that inner glass ceiling and start to open up to the things that just you couldn't reach before through the power of being. The very first module, the very first thing that we practice is simply stop. Stop the fixing. Stop the analyzing. Stop fighting yourself. Just stop. Let this moment be as it is. It's kind of like you get all this momentum going outward. You have to stop first so that then you can open up a space and be an invitation and start receiving. And being is receiving. We've talked about the hunter This is the power of the majestic tree that stands and stays and receives all day long, just like a baby in a healthy family. It does nothing and receives all day long. We're the same. We're absolutely the same. And if you really think about some of the things that have come into your life that were blessings, a lot of times, you hear people say, oh, I had to sleep on it. Or, when I wake up in the morning, the answer just came. It's because you stopped the search. It was here all along. But if you're seeking, you can't receive. They're two opposite ways of being. So I hope this inspires you. I hope that you'll just practice stopping, feeling, showing up for yourself instead of abandoning yourself by getting off into your head. And if you like this, please share. It helps me reach the people that I'm here to serve. If you're on YouTube, click the subscribe button. And if you would like to learn how to become a fortunate receiver, okay, rather than a hard work, almost receiver because you keep hitting your glass ceiling, then consider joining me at the Receive course. It is open. You can join right now. $97 a month. It's an easy place to start if you'd like. And then once you do, the course is available to you and you have full access to our Thursday Q&A drop-in hours, our members-only Facebook group, and all kinds of support to really open the floodgates. So there's other links and resources above and below, and just, comment, share, let me know how we can help you out. I've got a customer service person ready to help me help you. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you at the next Rise and Receive. Bye, everybody.